Hey everyone, welcome back to Crypto Cash. Thank you so much for joining me here. I hope you're having a phenomenal day. One more look here at Solana, see what's going on. Happy Friday to you. It's hard not to have a happy Friday when Bitcoin's doing very well and the rest of the market is cranking. We've been hitting up a lot of good signals here recently too to kind of give you perspective. We could see we took two targets here on NOT. That's a 24-hour trade there, essentially 34%. VeChain, 2 days, 27. Polkadot, 2 days, 30%. Filecoin, day and a half, 22%. The list goes on. MNT, ICP, NEAR, Cardano, first VeChain profit target. Anyways, I like to throw that out there because the market is bullish. If you're trying to short the market right now, you're really doing it wrong. It's just, you're going against the grain. It doesn't make a ton of sense. So if you saw my heads up here for Bitcoin today, I would recommend not shorting, okay? So it's just an important thing to recognize. Do not do so. If you're part of our Telegram, Twitter, or Discord, you'll kind of know my overall sentiment right now in the market, and it's mostly bullish. Keep in mind, you can't be blindly bullish either. Bitcoin is due for a correction. I think it's likely we're gonna see Bitcoin pull back to its more recent 0.618 fib level there as a retest. We could even be in the middle of an Elliott wave 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? So we very well could see one more leg down before the price rips up to the 70K mark. Either way you look at it, is mostly positive, and it reflects positively here with Solana. Let's quickly look at our yesterday's trade alert here for Solana. And essentially what we're looking at, we had an extreme likelihood of seeing 162. We had like 161.50. We have our micro support at 147. I'll show you here on the charts what that is. And then we have a major support. Our point of control is 144. So we've seen 144 as a consistent variable for Solana. I'm not proposing we're going to see that low, but if we do, we'll see a significant bounce off that level. So again, a long off the local high of 155 is a good consideration. I don't think we came down that low yesterday, but if it does happen today, I would say it's a distinct probability that we're going to see a pivot or a bounce off that level. Okay, so let's look at the backend data first and kind of see what's going on here, and then we'll quickly understand what the charts are telling us. And again, when you're looking at these liquidation levels, folks, just because liquidation is there doesn't mean the price has to go there, but also you got to keep in mind too, there's a distinct probability it will. That's why fair value gaps are commonly filled, because there's a lot of value there. When the market makers move the price in certain directions, they get what they want out of it, then they inevitably just sell, 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 or the inverse, sell, buy, 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 depending on what direction it's heading. That all being said, there's not a ton of liquidation here we can see in the most recent 24-hour period, or this last 7 days on the left. We can see, I guess, maybe between now and 160 as a rough estimate, we can see somewhere in the range of maybe $500 million in liquidation. If we zoom out and in here, we can see majority of upper liquidation has been swept again. There's actually probably closer to about 1 billion, upwards about 163, but there's not a lot left, okay? So it doesn't mean the price can't go higher. It just implies that we're probably getting closer to the initial top here for Solana before it pulls back. Keep in mind our local high, both back in August and late August. So early August, late August, we have this 162 to 164 range as that resistance, okay? So just keep in mind, just kind of friendly reminder, that is there. We want to be mindful of that. Usually when you test a resistance level that has obviously held very strong in the past, it's going to reject the first time. We almost already have done that, so there's a possibility that this might be the first pullback and we crank through it next time, or we just need to presume the price goes a little higher, rejects off that level, bounces off the local high, whatever that looks like at that time. So let's look at the daily time frame and kind of work our way down. Keep in mind, again, there's a fair value gap as low as 134 to 141. I still don't think we're going to see that, but if we lose our ascending trend line, start retesting that 144 range, that's a possibility. Once again, not a probability at this point. RSI is still in great shape. Money flow index is above it. It's exactly what you want to see in a bullish trend. Stochastic RSI is trying to swing down, but nothing yet. And we still got convergence here. It's converging, so to speak, still. The MACD basically telling us we have a tremendous amount of momentum. These are all good things, okay? So all in all, very positive there in that sense on the daily time frame. We've known this for a while. We also bullishly backtested this 155 level, as I discussed in our trade alert, as a 200-day SMA. So let's zoom in to the 4 hour and kind of see what that looks like. You can see the price action pulled back to right here and bounced. So it kind of did what we were expecting it to do, just didn't pull back quite as far, maybe about $1 off. But again, that 155 to 154 range would have been a good consideration for a long. It's essentially what we highlighted in our trade alert. So let's go ahead and quickly do this here. Go ahead and remove this. The cup and handle pattern played out pretty nicely. When we look at the 4 hour time frame, we want to recognize this too. This is an important part of a bullish trend. We're honoring the ascending trend. You guys see that? Yeah, the 50, the 20-day SMA is right there, kind of letting us know that this ascending trend line is still in play. Okay, so until we break that, we have no reason to take a short. Really, that's just what it boils down to. I don't care if you see some millionaire online shorting the market. You want to be careful and cautious. Don't trust everything you see. Well, again, most other traders that are online doing live trading and stuff, they're probably pretty good at what they do. I would have to assume so. But they're also day trading if they're live, right? What you see here in my analysis is more so it's going to sustain, the evaluation should sustain itself for at least 24 to 48 hours, maybe even longer. Because again, we look at macro and smaller time frames, but we don't dive into the 1, 5, 15-minute charts. That's what you do when you're day trading. That's a different story altogether. If you want to day trade, I do have a day trading bot in my community, of course, that provides really good signals, but again, you have to be careful with pumps and dumps. It's kind of you just got to monitor it all the time, right? That's what day trading is. If you see the gray hair in my beard, that is day trading, all right? Anyways, I don't do that anymore. However, looking at the hourly, we're going to look at the hourly next, but the 4-hour, just to summarize, is still in pretty good shape. We're getting closer to a resistance here on the RSI, letting us know that we could see a slight taper off or a pullback here soon. But once again, if you look at Solana and Bitcoin, they're very similar charts, all right? So if Bitcoin does decide to pull back, I think Solana will too. But again, Bitcoin dominance is plateaued. This is a very good sign for altcoins, letting us know that there's a distinct probability Bitcoin will sustain its current price point between 65 and 66K, and altcoins will continue to surge. Okay, until that dynamic changes and we can see that, we have to presume the price is going to continue higher. Again, don't blindly just take a long right now. I'd recommend waiting for a pullback, but on the same accord, the overall trend is up. Okay. I don't know if you guys have ever walked in a crowd of people and trying to walk against that crowd of people versus with them. You'll notice it's a little more challenging, right? That's what trading is, identifying trends and working within the trend. So we just have less resistance, so to speak, in that regard. According to the Ichimoku Cloud here in the hourly, and I would agree that this still is a good sign here, letting us know that we're in good shape to keep your long position open. I would, however, recommend securing profits or adjusting your targets higher, your stop loss higher rather, just to ensure you walk away in the green. I don't think we should be super greedy on coins right now at this moment, especially those that are heavy in profit. So if you got in 130, 140, 150, you may want to consider securing profits. This thing isn't going to 500 tomorrow, okay? It's going to jump up and down, but I think we're getting closer to our tentative top, and it would make sense for today being a green Friday that we may see some red this weekend. I don't think you need to close all your trades, so just saying adjust them in profit. You know your profit right now. Why are you holding still? Again, just some friendly advice and thoughts from somebody who likes to secure profits because I've been greedy in the past too. All right, so hourly time frame is good to go there. Let's quickly look at our local point of control, and we can see here 156 is that rough estimate there. So yesterday and today, we can see our most amount of volume accumulation is right about 156. That's that local pivot point that I discussed in my trade alert. So I would say if you're going to consider a long, 155 to 166 would make the most sense. Just make sure that Bitcoin isn't on its way down or losing any type of specific trend lines first, which we're still a ways away from that, by the way. Okay. So at this point, I still feel like Solana has some upside left, but I also feel like majority of the upside has been taken, and it would make more sense for the price to kind of start averaging itself out and maybe going sideways this weekend. I know, weird, huh? The thought of not trading is kind of crazy, isn't it? Anyways, I would recommend just being cautious and careful however you look at it right now. Market's nice and on fire for the most part, but it's starting to dwindle as Bitcoin starts to top out. And if Bitcoin does pull back, we'll see a slight correction from alts. I just don't think it's going to be monumental. So that's where we're at. Okay, enough circular conversation. Thank you again so much for watching. If you want to become part of our community, cryptocash.tech is a site, link down below. Otherwise, join us at the very least over on our Twitter, Telegram, or Discord so you can be in the know with our playout charts and whatever else I provide for you there. It's all there for you. Anyways, thanks again, folks. We'll see you in the next one. Have a good day.